Hello and welcome to this short video tutorial on referencing in CMI assignments, and in particular I'll take a look at the inbuilt referencing facility in Microsoft Word. If you've not come across our tutorial videos before, my name is Brent Warren and I'm the Training Director and one of the tutors at CMBD. Now, if you've done any form of further education, higher education at university for example, you'll be familiar with the need to reference your sources. However, if you've not come across this before, then this short tutorial should give you some pointers and some guidance. So why do we need to reference in the first place? Well, basically because we're borrowing somebody else's work. We might be referring to a model or a theory or an article that we've read or something we found on a website or in a journal. So that's why we need to do it. So let's have a look at the how using Microsoft's inbuilt citation stroke referencing system in Microsoft Word. The version I'm using is the latest. It's actually Word for Mac, so there might be some subtle differences depending on which version you're working on. Okay, so let's have a go at putting a reference into this example answer I've got for 1C of Unit 302. I've been talking about Belbin team roles, so I need to put a reference in there to his original work. Now, what you do is you go to the Reference tab, and if you're putting a reference in for the first time, you go to Insert Citation. And I click that, and a box drops down. And the first thing we do is check the type of source. Now, book is fine in this case, but if we've got something from a website, for example, drop that list down, select the appropriate type of reference, and if I go for website, you can see the type of information asked for changes. But we'll pop back to the book because that's what we need. And we start filling in the boxes, so Belbin, and so on and so forth, and you complete all the information asked for. When you've done that, you click on OK and it will pop the reference into your answer. But I'm going to cheat. I'm going to go cancel because I've already got the Belbin reference in my library. Now, this is open over here, but if it isn't, you just click on Citations to bring it down. And you can see my top one here is the one I need. Give it a double click and it's popped in the abbreviated type of reference that we need in our answer. Now, I'm going to put a second reference in here because I've cut and pasted the box describing the team roles from the CMI's Management Direct website, so I need to acknowledge where I got that from. So click the cursor here. Again, I've already got this pre-populated, so a double click and in it will pop the abbreviated version. Now at the very end of the assignment we need to put in the bibliography. That's the full details of all our references, i.e. all the information we put in all those boxes. So I'm just going to go down here. I'm going to pretend this is the end of the assignment and I'm going to go for bibliography and I'm going to click on works cited, and there it will put in all those full details for me. So where do we get the information from to pop in the boxes for our sources? Well, sometimes it's pretty straightforward. This next screenshot shows the Management Direct page where I grabbed that Belbin chart. And you can see on the bottom right-hand side of the screen there are all the details of Meredith Belbin's book. Another quick tip on books, if you can't readily find the information, is to dive onto Amazon and see if they've got a copy of it for sale. Because again, in this next screenshot, you can see that some of the information that you need is in the description if you're able to, look inside the book. Further clues can be found sometimes on the syllabus and the indicative content. This is the list of suggested reading and theories and material at the end of 302, and you can see that at least some of the information is there. If you're quoting from a website, then obviously you can cut and paste the URL and get all the other information you need off the page itself. So how many times do we need to actually insert the reference for the same source? Well, if we're mentioning somebody several times within an answer for a particular task, then just the first time that we refer to them. However, if you go on to another task or another question within the assignment later on, then it's probably good practice to pop it in again. Now, you will have seen from this tutorial that we put the bibliography at the end of the assignment. That's where we're giving the full details of all the sources that we've used in our answers. However, if you're also using an evidence booklet to accompany your assignment, there can be some slight confusion because that actually has a section headed bibliography. That space is simply for stuff that you've used within the evidence booklet. Now, that might be work-based evidence, or you might have put a fairly substantial piece of research that you found in there or something like that. But the assignment has the assignment references and bibliography, and the evidence booklet has its own separate set. So that's pretty much it on referencing. I'm sure you'll agree it's perhaps not so onerous as it would first appear if you've not done it before. I hope that you found this useful. Do check back on the resource page on the CMBD website from time to time, because we're trying to constantly add to these video tutorials. But for now, thank you for listening.